Hello beautiful soul and welcome to my channel. It has been a very long time since I've posted any videos on this channel, but it is a new year, it is 2024. Happy New Year to everybody watching, and I'm very excited to be back and creating videos again. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Yanita. If you are returning, it is so good to have you back. Thank you so much for being so incredibly patient. I have decided to kick off this channel again with a pick a card or pick a pile reading for the year ahead, just to see what might be in store and to find ways to make 2024 the best that it can possibly be. So I have chosen 2 decks to create 3 piles for you to choose from. I'm going to draw 1 card from this deck to get a general theme for 2024. You can think of it as a big picture vision or general vibes, life lessons, general energies that you might experience throughout this year. Then I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 cards from this deck, 1 card being things that would be good for you to be aware of throughout this year, and a second card for ways to be empowered this year, or ways that you can deal with challenges or obstacles that you might face throughout the year. So what I'm intending with this pick-up pile reading is for it to be something that you can come back to at a later stage during the year, maybe in a month's time, 3 months' time, 6 months, end of the year. Whenever you feel like it, as often as you feel like it, you can return to this reading and return to whichever pile you have chosen and see how these energies are playing out in your life and in your experiences throughout the year, and maybe even use it as a way to make sure you're staying in alignment and navigating as best as you can. Of course, you don't have to watch this video again if you don't feel like it. Whatever works for you is perfectly fine. Maybe if you do return, you can leave in the comments below the number of the pile that you choose, so that if you do return, you can easily find the pile that is relevant for you. Okay, having said all of that, I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and create the 3 piles. I'm probably going to speed forward through this in the video, so sit back, relax, maybe grab something to drink, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, we are back, we are shuffled, and our 3 piles have been created. So now you can go ahead and pause the video and choose the pile that draws you the most for what might be ahead for you in 2024. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I will leave timestamps below so that you can skip ahead to the relevant portion of this video, and I will see you in your reading. Hello beautiful soul who chose pile number 1. This is your pile for 2024. So let's go ahead and line these up all nice and straight and pretty, like so. Beautiful. Okay, just to reiterate, we have a card for the theme for the year, a card for what you need to be aware of, and a card for ways to empower yourself. So let's have a look at your theme for the year, and we have higher self. I love this card. Look at it, isn't it beautiful? So this corresponds with the High Priestess in traditional tarot decks, but in this deck it's called the higher self, and I like that because as a theme for the year, 2024 is going to be all about learning how to trust your intuition. The big lesson of the High Priestess is in those moments when we can't quite see the path ahead, when we're not sure about which way to go or what's coming up for us, we can't see what direction we're going in exactly. Everything's just a bit mysterious or unclear, and maybe a little bit scary or intimidating. In those times, sometimes it's actually okay to not know everything that's coming up ahead. Even though we might really want to know, we might really feel conflicted inside and feel like, my goodness, I wish that I could just see what was in the final chapter, or just know how things are going to turn out and how this is going to end, or where I'm going to end up. If only I could know those things. In those moments, the life lesson is about learning how to accept that you can't know everything. You can't know how everything is going to turn out. And sometimes it's better not to know. It's better not to see too far ahead. And the skill to develop in those moments is trust. Trust in your higher self. And another way to look at it is to trust in your intuition, to trust in everything that you have gone through already, all the wisdom that you have cultivated in your life up until this point. Trust in your capabilities, trust in your ability to get through difficult times, trust in your own resilience. These moments when things feel very murky and very uncertain, or what's a good word? I'm just going to stick with murky and uncertain. In those moments, those are opportunities for us to tap into what we know about ourselves, what we know about what we're capable of, and what we know about what's good for us and what isn't, and to trust that as long as we make choices that are in alignment with our own values and in alignment with what is right and healthy for yourself and your life, you will continue to move forward in the direction that is right for you, even if you can't quite see the direction that you're heading in. So it's kind of about learning how to navigate in the dark, in foggy conditions. Okay, this is about using your intuition, using your inner wisdom, and using all of the skills and the knowledge that you have gained throughout your life experience so far, and trusting in those things, having confidence and faith and trust in those things to get you through whatever murky, difficult, kind of uncertain time you're in. Okay, it's also about understanding that you're not going to be in a state of confusion or lack of clarity for very long. In fact, when you're in this and you're trusting yourself and you're trusting your intuition, by doing so, you're getting closer and closer to a moment of clarity where suddenly the path is going to open up for you and you are going to understand exactly and clearly what your next steps need to be. But for now, trust in the little bit that you can do. Take it one day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time, whatever works for you. Okay, so this year is going to be all about learning how to do that, learning how to tap into your intuition, learning how to trust yourself, learning how to hear what your higher self is saying, and allowing yourself to almost become best friends with your intuition. I love that. I love that as a theme for the year. That's really, really self-empowering. I hope that is straight. That looks like it's straight enough. Okay, so let's have a look at what you should be aware of this year. Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles. Let's pick this up again. So the Two of Pentacles, twos for me are a card that are cards that are about choices and about balance. And Pentacles are cards that relate to our material world. And that doesn't have to just be finances and career. It can also be our physical bodies, our physical environment, our health, anything that is tangible in our realities, our homes, our environments. So the Two of Pentacles is telling me that throughout 2024, it would be a good idea to be extra aware of keeping things in balance, making sure that whatever choices you are making, especially when it comes to your physical world and your sense of security and safety, so money matters, career decisions, just the foundations of what you need in your life to live well, the way that you nourish yourself in terms of your diet, the way that you take care of your physical body and take care of where you live, and where you live not just physically but also internally, like taking care of your mind, taking care of your emotions, to make sure that everything is in balance and that you are not giving too much to one thing and too little to other things. So this is going to be a year to be extra aware and pay extra attention to how you prioritize all these different physical aspects of your life. Okay, it's going to be about learning how to give each aspect of your physical world the time and the attention and the effort and the maintenance that it deserves, so that you are well balanced. And this is really an important thing to do, especially when it comes to learning to tune into your intuition and into your higher self, because it is much easier to figure out what your intuition is trying to tell you and what your higher self is trying to guide you to do when you take care of the rest of your life, when the rest of you is in balance. Okay, when you eat right, you have your finances managed as best as you can, when you are making the healthiest decisions between, work and rest or work and play, when you are making sure that all these different aspects of your life, even relationships, that all of these things are in a good balance, a balance that works for you specifically. When you're able to do that, you're much more easily able to hear what your intuition wants to tell you. So this could be a year of being very aware of opportunities for you to improve the balance in your life. And that is going to help you in developing your intuition, and even vice versa. These moments when you might need to reprioritize are also opportunities for you to use or tap into your intuition, tap into your higher self, into your values, and all of those things to help you make better decisions about how you improve the balance in your life. Okay, I love that. So keep an eye out for those opportunities to get in balance and to make better choices for yourself. Let's have a look at ways to empower yourself. Oh my goodness. Okay, great. So we have the High Priestess coming up again, which is the higher self card. So not only is this the theme for the year, this is also how you empower yourself this year. So I'm kind of going to just reiterate a few of the things that I said with the higher self card, which is this is a year for you to truly trust in yourself, trust in your intuition to guide you through any uncertain times, because your intuition knows exactly what to do. All right, so it's a year to practice doing that and to if you have trouble with that, start at the foundations of who you are. Start with your values. Start thinking about what is really important for you. What is healthy in your life? What does being healthy mean? What does success mean to you? On just the most basic fundamental level and on the truest level that you can. When you do those things, you will see and you will understand that your intuition and your gut instincts are always trying to align you with situations and choices that match up with those values and those things that are important for you so that you can be the best version of yourself that you can be. Your intuition is always trying to help you make the healthiest or most aligned choices. So when things get a little uncertain, trust in that. And this is going to really empower you this year. This is going to empower you in terms of getting this balance in your life, but also anything else that you are hoping to achieve throughout 2024. So I love this. This is such a beautiful message. So for you who chose pile number 1, I really hope that this reading is helpful for you. Okay, whatever you're going to go through throughout 2024, have courage. Okay, trust in yourself. When it's needed, be kind, especially to yourself if you're having a tough time. And if you enjoyed this, because that is it for this reading, then please leave a like, subscribe, because I'm hopefully going to have some more content coming soon. But until next time, I hope that your 2024 has started off really, really well. I hope you a really happy new year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello to you, beautiful soul who chose pile number 2 as your pile for 2024. These are your cards. Let's put them all next to each other. Line them up really nice, like so. And just to reiterate, we have one card for the theme for 2024. We have one card for what you need to know or be aware of, and one card for ways to empower yourself throughout the year ahead. So let's see your theme for the year, and we have guidance. Interesting. So the guidance card in the traditional tarot deck corresponds with the Hierophant. And I love this card because for me this is all about figuring out how you want to show up in the world, learning about the kind of rules and parameters that exist in the world that you need to operate within or that you want to operate within, and figuring out like what your niche is and how you want to show up. So that's really going to be a theme for this year for you. It's going to be all about learning, honestly. The Hierophant is a card that is about institutions, it's about learning, it's about knowledge, and about tradition and convention. And so I think of this as being that path that we take in learning how the world around us works and how we fit into the world around us. And in that process, we also learn about what doesn't work for us and ways in which we don't fit in with the rest of the world, ways in which we are unique and need to carve out our own space. So that's kind of going to be the theme for the year, or things that you are learning about throughout 2024. Learning about what works for you in terms of what the norm is, and also learning about how you stand out, how you are unique, and how you can make a space for yourself, and show up in the world in the way that you want to show up in the world, in the way that is right for you specifically. Okay, if you think about this, for example, in terms of like building a personal brand or launching a business or offering some kind of service, you have a unique set of skills, and maybe other people have similar skills. So in the context of this card, this would be that process of learning how people generally offer these skills to other people, how people market these products or this kind of business or this skill set to other people and make it work for them. Learning about all those things, but then also learning about how you are different from those other people and how you can change what they do, or you can refine their methods to work with what you offer instead. So it's also about learning how you are unique from the way everybody else does things. Okay, perhaps you are a painter and you paint in a very traditional medium, but the style that you paint in is super unique and doesn't really show up as being popular in the marketplace. And so maybe you might need to learn new ways to market your particular style so that you can show up as true to yourself as possible. So this card is all about learning all of those things, all of those parameters, so that you can put together a set of guidelines with which you can make decisions about how you show up in the world. Now, this doesn't need to just be in terms of business. This can be in relationships. This can be how you show up for yourself in life, how you take care of yourself. This can just be general choices that you make. But this entire year is going to be all about learning how you want to show up, how other people show up, what that difference is, what it looks like for you versus what it looks like for other people, and how you can make your own way in the world that is just right for you. So I really like that. I really like this card. It's also kind of a challenging path to go on sometimes, because we can very often, go through institutionalized learning, or we can follow along with tradition and the way things have been done for a very long time and not feel like there are other ways, or not feel like there is a space for us that we belong in. And it can take time and learning and experimentation to figure out, instead of where we belong, but how we can create a space for ourselves to belong in the world. It can be kind of a challenging process, but very worth it, because it allows you to show up as your truest, most authentic self. So I really like that as a theme, as a big theme for the year, learning how to do that. So let's look at what you need to be aware of. And we have the 10 of Wands. So I like this card in relation to guidance and in relation to what I said about the challenges of this card, of learning how you want to show up in the world and being courageous enough to say in certain appropriate contexts that you want to go against tradition, or show up in a way that is unique and maybe not really done or not really heard of. And that can be tough, and it can take time, and it can be burdensome. And then we have this card, the 10 of Wands, and the 10s are a cycle ending card. It's kind of the end, or being near the end of a journey. And the Wands are cards that are all about our passions, our ambitions, the things that make us really excited about life, the big visions that we have for ourselves, our dreams and our goals, those things that we want to achieve in life. Okay, the road to achieving those things at some points can feel very burdensome when we've been walking it for a very long time and are feeling like, it's a bigger commitment than maybe we first imagined or expected it to be. And it's starting to feel heavy, and it's starting to feel like, where is there an end in sight? And this is a card coming up in this position that is saying to keep moving forward, to keep pushing forward, to be resilient, to know that every step that you take forward on this path, as long as it is aligned and in alignment with what is right for you and the way that you really want to show up in the world, as long as you are taking those steps, you are much closer to your end goal than you might think. Every step takes you a little bit closer. And so this is a card that says, in those moments when you feel like you are almost ready to give up, ready to throw in the towel, even though you know you're on a path that you want to be on, and even though you know that you are heading towards something you really want, you might still feel like, it's just too much. This is saying don't give up. Keep moving forward. But this card is also a card of looking for opportunities to lighten the burden a little bit, lighten the load that you are carrying. Maybe situations where you can delegate or you can ensure that you rest. So things to be aware of this year: make sure that you are giving yourself enough time to rest and you have a good balance between like nourishing yourself and then putting effort into the things that you are wanting to achieve, okay? Rather than allowing yourself to get to a place of burnout and then because of that getting to a place where you feel like you want to give up because it's too much. This is a card of being aware of getting yourself into those situations and also trying to avoid situations like that by making the healthiest choices that you can. Okay, so that's something very, very important to be aware of throughout 2024. This to me is the burnout card, or the potential burnout card in many situations. So be aware of that. You want to be able to walk your path in a way that you can get to your goals and ambitions, but you're not pushing yourself so hard towards them that you are negatively impacting your own health and your own well-being, and perhaps the health and well-being of people on your team or people that are around you on this journey or part of the journey with you, whether that's friends or loved ones or colleagues or whatever it is. So that is something to be really very aware of, especially in this process of trying to figure out how you want to show up in the world. Okay, it's really important in this process to keep going and to go at it in a manner and at a pace that is healthy and that is right for you, and to not try and force things to go faster or to take on too much all in one go because you want to be at the end, or I'm going to go back to the artist analogy. You want to find your perfect style immediately, so you try and push for your perfect style, but sometimes your perfect style emerges as a result of small healthy iterations, and just showing up and practicing a style emerges, showing up and just doing what you like and finding what's right for you. Over time, a style emerges rather than you having to create it yourself, and that takes off some of the burden and some of the pressure. So just be aware of that. Be aware of unnecessary pressure. Be aware of impending burnout. Try and make the healthiest choices that you can along whatever paths you are taking this year. So let's have a look at ways that you can empower yourself. Ooh, and we have the 6 of Cups. This is nice. This is a pretty card. We have 2 little bunnies and we have 6 flower pots with beautiful flowers in them. I like this. So for me, 6s are cards that are about harmony, and cups are about our emotions. They're about our connections with other people. They are about things that make us feel really good and really fulfilled and loved and happy. And so for me, this is a card in the empowerment position of allowing the things that make you feel good to kind of guide you forward a little bit. In the traditional tarot deck, which actually this is also a card about memories. It's a very nostalgic card. And in terms of guidance, or the big themes of guidance, I like that this comes up because this is all about looking back fondly at all the things that we used to enjoy when we were younger. What that was with other people, maybe it's hobbies that we liked to do, pastimes, whatever it is, all those things that used to make you feel really good, really happy, really joyful and childlike, okay, really carefree. Those memories and those experiences that you've had, you can draw upon. Okay, those things that made you feel that way, draw upon those things to inspire you in the present as you move through this journey of figuring out what you want your life to look like. Okay, in the present and in the future. This is about drawing from the past, learning from the past, and in this particular context, drawing on the things that used to make you feel good. Okay. It's important here to remember that this card also comes with a side of it that warns against dwelling on the past too much. Sometimes it's very easy to get lost in the fantasy of the past and get stuck there and not actually take action and move forward. This is saying just be inspired by it. Go back and think about what made you feel good and maybe try doing those things again, or allow those things to help you shape and influence positively the choices that you make, because those are the things that are going to help you inject some of that beautiful emotion, that joy and that happiness and that carefreeness and that fulfillment and love into the life that you are learning to create for yourself. Okay, it's going to help you make more informed choices in terms of what's going to feel good for you in your life, because ultimately I think we all want to create lives in which we can enjoy ourselves in everything that we do. We can enjoy the work that we do, the jobs that we have, the careers that we build, the relationships that we participate in, and even our relationship with ourselves. We want to enjoy these things, and this is about remembering what brought joy and bringing that into the present and allowing that to help us make better decisions about how we live in the present. Okay, so this can be really, really empowering within this greater theme of figuring out how you want to show up in the world. So I really love this for you who chose pile number 2, beautiful soul. I really, really hope that this helps you this year. Whatever your situation is throughout 2024, have courage. And when it's needed and appropriate, be kind. That is it for this reading. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below and subscribe if you feel like it. I am hoping to have a lot more content coming very soon. But until then, I wish you the happiest new year. I hope you have a fabulous year ahead. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello to you, beautiful soul who chose pile number 3 as your pile for 2024. Here are your cards. Let's line them up next to each other, like so. And to reiterate, we have one card for the theme for the year ahead for you. We have one card as things that you need to be aware of, and one card for ways to empower yourself throughout 2024. So let's have a look at the theme for the year, and we have divine justice. Beautiful. So as a theme for the year, or a big life lesson, this card is all about integrity. This card is about learning to see and recognize the truth in the situations, learning how to show up authentically, in honesty, to be true to yourself, and to act with integrity. It's also a card about balance and karma to an extent, and understanding how your choices and your actions have led to whatever outcomes you are experiencing, but also having foresight about consequences of future consequences of current choices and decisions that you make. So this is going to be a year about really learning how to be authentic in your life, in all areas of your life. And part of this journey and part of the path and part of this lesson is learning how to see the truth of situations, learning how to look deeper into things, especially within yourself, learning to see the truth of who you are, what matters to you, what drives your decision making, conditioning that you may have, whether that conditioning influences you in healthy or unhealthy ways, really getting in touch with all of those things. And not just within yourself, but also in the way you conduct yourself in the rest of your life, in your physical world, in your career, in your relationships, in your relationship with yourself, in terms of your health, really in all aspects of life. This is all about learning to see things for what they are and understand them truly and deeply with honest and, well, through an honest and unbiased lens. And then understanding how your choices and how you choose to show up can have consequences in your life. Really seeing things clearly. Okay, this is a card that is all about having that clarity and understanding how everything is connected in that way and how life kind of stays in balanced karmically according to how you show up and how you make choices and whether or not you are living in integrity and being honest with yourself. So that's really a powerful card to get for the year. It can show up in so many different ways, positive, negative, and neutral. So this is just kind of the general vibe for the year. But let's have a look at what you need to be aware of. And we have, we have the Ace of Cups, and I really like this card. This is a card of potential connections, potential relationships, potential beginnings for paths and adventures and projects and opportunities that are really fulfilling emotionally, whether that's in terms of love and romance, or maybe just things that bring you a lot of joy and fulfillment in your life. Now, the kinds of opportunities that this talks about are things that you will need to grab a hold of. These kinds of opportunities are not things that necessarily fall into your lap and start flourishing and growing on their own. You really need to take them, or to recognize them first, take them as seeds, and then do the work to plant them and to let them grow. So something for you to be aware of throughout 2024 is these opportunities showing up in your life, opportunities for you to really deepen the level of emotional satisfaction that you have in your life, in all different areas of your life. Okay, whether that's love or career or anything else, there is an aspect of emotional satisfaction and fulfillment that exists in everything that we do. And so there are potentially new and exciting and maybe even a little bit unfamiliar opportunities that could come your way this year, that could give you the chance to have really, really beautiful just joy and emotional contentment throughout this year. And I do want to just reiterate, this being a seed card means that it will take time for those things to grow into something that makes you feel like that. This year is just about recognizing those opportunities and then deciding whether or not you want to take them. Okay? And that is where you can use some of the lessons that you learn from divine justice. Okay, seeing the truth of situations, seeing things for what they are, learning how to recognize the things in your life that will bring you greater and deeper love, joy, fulfillment, happiness, and all of the good feels, okay? You have to, though, be able to recognize those things. So you will have opportunities to do this, to do that this year, to have this year. But you will need to learn how to recognize them. So let's look at ways for you to be empowered this year. And we have the Lovers. Interesting. There's a lot of emotion in this reading, unexpected emotion in this reading. So the Lovers card is another major arcana card. And so it's actually another big life lessons kind of card. And this card, even though it at first glance might be talking about romance and relationships, this is actually a card that is about choices and communication and vulnerability, and once again, honesty and integrity. So these two cards really do play well together, kind of play well hand in hand. So sixes are a card of harmony. And for me, the Lovers card is all about learning how to create and cultivate harmony when it comes to the way that we relate to other people and to the situations that we exist in. Okay, anything that we interact with in the world. And an important aspect of creating harmony in those connections that we have in our lives is to be honest with ourselves first and foremost about what we need in our lives, about who we are, about what's important to us, what our values are, what our morals are, how we align ourselves ethically, how we make ethical choices for ourselves and our lives and the way that we want to live our lives. Okay, that's what this card is really about. And so creating that harmony comes from being brave and courageous enough to speak up about those things. This for me is really a card that is about choices and communication above anything else. So in situations when we are having to relate to other people or to situations, it's about understanding what those values are and what those morals are, those things that are important to us, and then being courageous enough to communicate them, to state that this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what's important for me. And being brave enough to show up as that, and to show up and to say those things, to express those things, and to be vulnerable. Okay? And of course, that requires being clear. Of course, that requires showing up honestly as our true and authentic selves. Again, this is a card about authenticity. So truly, honestly, this looks to be a year where you are going to have lots of opportunities to kind of develop your ability to have more improved and more authentic connections in your life, whether it's connections with other people or colleagues, friends, with yourself. This year is all about leveling up those things and learning how to do so by or getting better at doing so by learning how to live in integrity and in authenticity. Okay? So ways to empower yourself this year? Really, it's going to be about being brave enough to speak up about what's actually right for you, to show up authentically, to be honest about what you need and what you want. Okay? Of course, in kind and compassionate ways, but doing those things whenever you have the opportunity to do so. Okay, so it's a really, really beautiful reading. I really like this for the year for you. I really hope that this helps you throughout 2024. That is it for this reading. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like below and subscribing to the channel. I am planning on having some more content coming out very soon, hopefully. Other than that, whatever your situation is this year, have courage. Have courage, okay? When it's needed and appropriate, be kind, especially to yourself. Keep your heart open. Open for potential, open for possibilities. And yeah, that is it. I'm wishing you the very best 2024. Happy New Year. I hope that it is wonderful and blessed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.